Quadratic expansion. This is something that you're going to see throughout your early years of doing maths or learning about maths. And in algebra, it's really useful. It's something that you'll do a lot of as you go through your exam periods. You need to know how to do it. You may have heard the term FOIL, and that basically stands for first, outside, inside, last. However, I prefer to look at it as first, last, outside, inside. What that means is you multiply the first terms together, the inside and outside terms together, and the last terms together. So when you do x times x, you're going to get x squared. You then do x times 1, which is going to be plus x. Then you're going to do the inside terms, so 3 and x plus 3x, and then the last terms, 3 and 1. So this times this, which is plus 3. You can then clean this up by getting your x squared and then adding 3x plus x, which is going to be 4x, and then finally you have 3. So you have completely expanded the brackets. This time there's a negative. So let's do y times y, which is going to be y squared. Y times 3, which is going to be plus 3y. Minus 8 times y, which is minus 8y. Then minus 8 times 3, which is minus 24. Again, this term and this term can't be simplified anymore, but we can clean this up by doing 3 minus 8, which is going to be minus 5. So you're going to have y squared minus 5y minus 24. In this problem, we've got a number, a value in front of the p, but it's exactly the same. Nothing changes, except for this time, you're multiplying everything here to this value. So let's do the first terms, which are going to be 2p squared. Then you do 2p times minus 5, which is minus 10p. And then you're going to do minus 3 times p, which is minus 3p, and minus 3 times minus 5, which is plus 15. We can then now clean up. So we're going to get 2p squared minus 10p minus 3p, which is minus 13p, and then plus 15. Here, we can do the exact same thing, except for you can notice that these 5's are exactly the same. That sounded absolutely stupid. So x times x is x squared minus plus 5x minus 5x and then minus 25. You'll notice that plus 5x minus 5x is nothing. So this goes away and you will have x squared minus 25. This is called the difference of two squares. However, this is something that I'll go over in a separate video altogether. For now, you've successfully expanded this quadratic. Sometimes they'll present it to you like this, but all this really means is 4 minus r, 4 minus r. So we can expand that using the exact same method. So 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times minus r is minus 4r. Minus r times 4 is minus 4r. And minus r times minus r is positive r squared. We can now clean this up and rearrange it a little bit. You're going to get r squared minus 8r plus 16. Here we have a cheeky minus 25 sitting on the outside. So let's ignore that for now and just do what we did previously with this. We'll do x minus 5 and then x minus 5. Expanding that, we're going to get x squared, first terms, minus 5x, minus 5x, and then plus 25. But remember, there is a minus 25 here. So let's add that on. We'll have x squared, which is by itself. Minus 5x is minus 10x. Then plus 25 minus 25 is nothing. So you are left with this. In an exam, you may be asked to then factorize that further, but that would be pretty straightforward. You would just do x minus 10 by pulling out x as the common term in both.